Here we shall talk about Cymose inflorescence. We have already seen what inflorescence is and how many types of inflorescence are there and what is racemose inflorescence. Now we shall see what is Cymose inflorescence. Now suppose this is a peduncle. Here the peduncle will end in a flower, unlike racemose inflorescence where the development of peduncle was indefinite. Here we see that the development of peduncle is definite. Since it ends in a flower, then what happens? The other branch that will grow, it will grow from a point which is below the terminal flower, and it will also terminate in a flower. Then it might be one-sided or it might be two-sided, that we will see in the classification. Then again another branch will develop from a point which is below the flower and again terminate in a flower. So it might develop in both directions or it might just develop in one direction like this, but always it will end in flower and ends in a flower. So the growth is definite and ends in a flower. That means the branch is sympodial. Unlike in case of racemose where the branch was monopodial because it did not end in a flower. Here it ends in a flower, so branch is sympodial. Then here you see, since it is ending in a flower, so the topmost flower is the oldest flower. Again, this is opposite to racemose where the youngest flower is the topmost flower. Here the oldest flower is the topmost flower, and the new flower that will grow, that will come in a lower direction. But again, that is different from racemose. So everything is opposite to racemose, and this development is known as basipetal. Development is basipetal because the oldest flower is at the top and the young ones grow at the lower region. This is basipetal development. So these are the characteristics of Cymose inflorescence. Sometimes difference is asked between Cymose inflorescence and racemose inflorescence. So you can mention these points. Now let us see the types of Cymose inflorescence. Cymose inflorescence, as we have seen, the branch will always terminate in a flower. So the types of Cymose inflorescence is, there are basically three types. Let's take one at a time. First one will be uniparous, or it is also known as monocasial. It is of two types. What are they? First will be helicoid. The word comes from the word helix. It comes from the word helix, which means one-sided. DNA helix, we know DNA is known as, like structure of DNA is known as DNA helix. So why is it known as helix? Because it moves in one direction only. So one direction movement is known as helical movement. So that is what we find here, helical movement. So what happens here? Let's see. Say this is the peduncle. It ends in a flower and then the lower portion gives rise to another flower. Again ends in a flower. Then the portion lower to it will give in another flower and ends there. And the development will be always in one direction. If it is coming in the right side, it will keep on coming in the right side only. Development is in one direction. So this is, if it is right, so it is right, right, right. If it is left, it can be left also. Development can be left also. So it will be always in one direction. So either it will be right side or it will be left side. So right side development is found in Dhatura and left side development is found in Solanum. In Solanaceae family. In Solanaceae family, left side development, it is helicoid development. Now, these two are developing in one direction only. Now, the next type will be scorpioid. Scorpioid means snake-like. Means here the development is in zigzag way. How come? Let's see. Development is zigzag. Suppose a branch is ending in this terminal flower. So the next is coming out, say, from the right side. So the next one will come from the left side. Again the next one will come from the right side. Again the next one will come from the left side. So we see zigzag movement, zigzag pattern or snake-like pattern. This is known as scorpioid uniparous sign. And the example is ranunculus. Ranunculus. These flowers are found everywhere. They are small yellow colored flower which you see on the roadside. So next time just have a look at the inflorescence. You will come to understand. This is known as scorpioid, where the terminal flower, where the branch will end in terminal flower and the lower portion will give rise to next flower and they will move in zigzag pattern. So this is uniparous scorpioid type. Now the next one is biparous. Let's draw it a little here. Biparous or dicaseal. So from uniparous we can have an idea what biparous is. Biparous is something like this. Suppose this is a branch which ends in a flower. Now it will not give just in one direction, it will give in both directions. It will give branches in both left and right side. Unlike uniparous, it will give both in left side and right side. Again, the next branch will come out both in left side and right side. Left side and right side. Again, it will come out in left side and right side. So it will go on like this. Branches are coming out in two directions. This example is found in, biparous is found in, biparous jasmine. It is found in jasmine. Jasmine we get biparous sign. Then the third type is multiparous or polycasial. From the name itself we can understand multiparous means, suppose this is ending in a branch, in a flower, the branch is ending in a flower. So when it is giving out next flower, next branch, it will not be one or two, but it will be poly, it will be many. It will be many. So suppose this one is again giving off a branch, so it will be many. So like this. Now this is found in Calotropis. So these are the example of Cymose inflorescence types and example. Now these are inflorescence. We have when there is no inflorescence, there will be a solitary flower. Either the flowers are either solitary or in an inflorescence. Now inflorescence we have seen Cymose inflorescence, but sometimes what happens in case of solitary flower also Cymose development is seen. That means when there is a flower, when a flower blooms, that means that will be the end of that branch. It will not develop further. It is seen in hibiscus. Suppose hibiscus flower has come out, so that branch will stop developing. That branch will not develop further. Some lower portion branches will come out from there. So that is cymose development. So that is solitary and this is inflorescence. So with this we come to end of cymose inflorescence. Now we shall see special type of inflorescence.